rock stars. Welcome to the pit. I'm your host, Rick, and we have another awesome week ahead of us. This week's guest is an acoustic artist. I'm excited to talk with him. Welcome, Tim Shewmake, to the show. Did I say that right?
You said it right. Yeah.
Oh my. Okay, I got to tell you, that's like the ultimate fear, I think, for anyone. Like, please don't screw it up. Please don't screw it up. Oh my Lord, how are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, a little tired from last night. I did a late gig, but I'm good.
Nice. Where were you?
LaRue Winery. It was their 1-year anniversary, and it was a lot of fun because you kind of get in something like that. You get to talk a little bit and tell them, what the song means to you. And so it was wonderful. It was a 3 hours straight. I don't take any breaks, and it went through really fast. I mean, I was done. I was like, really? Am I done?
Isn't it crazy how it's as a drummer, it always feels like when it's a 2-hour show, we get into it. I'm like, wait, it's only been 15 minutes. They're like, no, that's 2 hours, Rick. Cause we don't take breaks when I'm doing the Green Day stuff. And I'm like, wait, I missed the show. Like, can we rewind? I'd like to enjoy this too. Oh my Lord. And do you get that still, that just that euphoric performance high?
Always. Because you see the audience reacting to it, and you're kind of at awe that you get this opportunity to be able to be a part of their lives, a real personal part of their lives.
Now, you said you were at a winery. I've got to ask, and it's not music related. Did they let you sample?
I'm sorry?
Did they let you sample?
I can't drink and sing.
Oh, well, I don't drink and play drums, but you could have sampled afterwards.
Nope. If I drink one little taste of alcohol, my range goes down about 6 notes.
Oh, don't drink. Don't drink.
Yeah, I can't. I have to drink strictly water, and it has to be good water, not junk water. Or that's something.
So you have to have Fiji in your rider. You got Fiji.
What is it?
Fiji water.
I love Fiji water.
You see?
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, you're like, yeah, I need yellow M&Ms and Fiji water.
I'm turning into a diva. I didn't even know it.
Oh, and you know what? That's okay. We're going to get along great because I'm a princess and everyone knows it. But it's funny because there's a lot of musicians that, they have to have a couple cocktails because they got to relax. And I've always, as a drummer, kind of approached this as I'm your heartbeat, I'm your metronome. So I might have a beer really, but normally I take it up on stage. It's more theatrics, and everyone knows it. It's like I'll get up there, but I rely on being steady. Like I am the metronome. So and I know a lot of musicians that will, and hey, that's their thing. They smoke, they drink, and they get the party on, but it definitely, it affects your vocal cords.
It does.
And I have a good friend, David Houston, who's a vocal coach, and he always, that's one of the things, you treat your body kind of like a temple. Like, this is your instrument. Do you want to fine tune sports car, or do you just want to Pinto?
Yeah. Yes.
I got to ask, how long have you been singing?
40 years.
Classically trained or just self-taught?
Classically trained at the beginning, and then I had to dive off of that because I didn't want to sound like a classical singer,
Okay. And you know what? That's, I think, some of the best is when you just kind of, you take the fundamentals and then you go with it. Yeah. Would you agree? Yeah. Have you always done, so your acoustic stuff, you're actually doing covers, correct?
Right.
Okay. Have you always done that, or have you done originals too? Or kind of tell me how we got from point A to point Z.
Well, initially in my 20s, I did concerts in churches. And so, in the 80s, when that was real popular, you'd have a guy come in and do a concert at church. So I did that for about 12 years, and it was a combination of cover and originals. Okay. And then from there, I stepped off into country. So I was doing just new country for a long time. But what I noticed is, as I was doing the new country, I was kind of sprinkling in some classic rock, and my response to the classic rock was much greater than the new country.
You're like, Epiphany, I need to do some rock.
Yes. The new country, I love the stories, and the lyrics are real not. I just loved it, but when it came right down to it, the people really didn't respond as well to that as it did the classic rock.
And you know what, though, that is kind of across the board, especially here in Dallas Fort Worth. You go out and you see a lot of the tributes and the cover bands, and a lot of them are the classic rock, the 80s hair metal. And but again, it's what people know. And I think people want to be able to come out and sing along. Would you agree with that?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, they're looking for a good time. They're looking to kind of just party, and they want familiar. And one of I think the greatest testaments to any song, I don't care what genre, country, rock, metal, punk, if you could play a song acoustically and it touches people, that proverbial campfire, take a guitar and everybody sings, that's when you got great music. Yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And do you find yourself constantly on the acoustic?
I'm always on the acoustic. Yeah.
Do you ever?
What? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, do you ever pick up the electric and dabble? Or are you like, nope, I'm gonna stick with the acoustic?
A little bit. I mean, I like the electric a lot because you can get a lot more sounds and you can do some really cool creative stuff. But when I'm out performing, I think what they really want is me to be on acoustic. It just has that flavor to it, that sound,
Now, do you have a lot of folks that'll come up and go, hey, play this? And do you take requests, or is it like, no, here's my set list?
Not really. My playlist, if you saw it, it's so vast. It's diverse like crazy. I mean, I'm doing Coldplay, and on acoustic guitar, I'm doing Phil Collins.
Wow.
And then I'm doing James Taylor and Cat Stevens, that stuff too. But it's real diverse. So somebody may ask once in a while for something, but and I might do a chorus of something, but most of the time they can sit right there and listen. And like last night, one lady said, hey, Tim, everything that you sing is pretty much on my playlist.
Score.
Yeah.
You're like, please go to my page, like it, and follow me, invite your friends to like it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Now, do you ever do any Green Day?
I have not. I looked at one song by Green Day that I was considering doing.
Good riddance.
But I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure that the audience in what I do was going to really respond well to it.
That's a tough one, and that's what and as a cover artist, tribute artist, you got to make sure that you're picking songs that are going to resonate with the crowd. And I guess. Really, I always say to my guys, it's not about us. It's about the audience. Otherwise, I would play, and I happen, I'm giving you a hard time because I am the drummer in a Green Day tribute.
Sure.
And I would love to go deep and play like all the punk, just the real pop punk stuff. But what I find is it's actually the very mainstream, the hits. That's what people want to hear. They're coming out for that. So it's again, if you could do it acoustically, which we have. Great, but typically what I see out there is that folks are doing, like Poison or Bret Michaels. Every rose has a thorn. You get some Guns N' Roses. Just again, you're getting some of that typical, maybe some AC/DC. Do you ever have somebody though come up and go, here, I'll give you $100 if you play this song, and you're like, I could do that.
Well, most of the time they've been sitting there for a while and they've listened to what I do. And so it brings a song to mind that is kind of in my genre. And so they'll walk up and say, hey, can you do this? And I'll be like, I can't do this specific song, but I can do that artist.
That's awesome.
And then,
that's awesome.
Thank goodness I've got that iPad because I can through the song list and pink, there it is, and do the song for them.
Now, do you read music, or do you just, the music and you just have the lyrics there?
Well, I'm classically trained on trumpet. And so I took that training all the way through band. I was first chair in high school, stuff like that. And then I took that training off to guitar. But I've got a real, I've got an advantage because like I was trying to figure out King of Pain, right? And you go on the charts online and it's all wrong. And so I just sit there and went, okay, let's see. I just sat with my guitar and I was able to figure it out. I'll Be Over You by Toto.
Uh-huh.
Everything you see online is wrong. And so I just sit there and I went, okay, wait a second. That sounds like that's a minor. Oh, and it goes to that. No one online got it right, but I've got that something because I've been playing such a long time.
Yeah.
Unless it's some kind of obscure chord that I wouldn't play on the guitar anyway, I can usually figure it out.
So I started out in the 6th grade in trumpet, sat first chair.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And what's funny is I still have my Holton trumpet. The pinky I'm not even sure what it's called yet. You put your pinky in a hold it up, snapped off. So and one of the valves is stuck. So I actually played that trumpet for years without the pinky little hook. And it's been up in the attic. I actually saw it a couple years ago. I was up there and I was like, oh, and I was like, oh wait, this one's stuck. I need to take it in and actually get it tuned up and see if they can fix it. But yeah, my mom and dad bought that for me when I was in the 6th grade. And the very first song I learned to play was Chuck Mangione, Feels So Good.
Nice.
Just listened to it and learned it. And then I learned how to play the theme song from Dallas. So I show up after summer, first day of 6th grade, go to band. Everybody's sitting there kind of goofing off. And I'm playing Chuck Mangione. And the teacher comes up and he goes, how long have you been playing? I'm like, well, you saw me this summer. My mom and dad just bought it. He's like, lessons? Nope. Just started playing. So, but I always wanted to be a drummer. Always wanted to be a drummer. So, but you know what? I've met so many musicians that, be it bass, guitar, drums, they all start on trumpet. So I don't know if we're a bunch of just band nerds that were like, yeah, this is a great start.
Well, I think as trumpet players, we're more noticed and more popular than the rest of the band members, because we kind of did the lead stuff. And then most of us played 2 instruments. We played guitar and trumpet.
Oh, I played trumpet and baritone. So
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I admire guitarists. I have a bass because the strings are a little fatter, but the guitarist, I love the fact that you guys are up front. I wish that I was coordinated enough. And I say that as a drummer, but the strings are so tiny and close together. And I'm like, oh, forget this. I throw a temper tantrum. Oh my Lord. What kind of acoustic do you play?
Well, it's a Taylor 814 CE.
Okay.
Real nice, beautiful tone woods. I found out real early in life that if you play junk guitars, you're not going to have a good experience. I've had guitars that I had to tune between songs,
Okay. So, isn't that true though, across the board with any instrument? I mean, yes, you can make it sound good for a short while. Even drums, give me a crappy drum set. Let me tune it, but you're constantly tuning it. I'd rather have really good gear.
Yeah. It kind of depends on your level of where you're going. Like I have a guitar that I can sit and play for an hour and it'll be fine. But if I'm playing an acoustic guitar for 3 hours and I'm not taking any breaks at all, that thing, you got to be able to count on that guitar that's going to stay in tune for you.
I would need a bucket of ice for my hands.
Now, fingers are a little sore today. Yeah.
I was going to say, well, your fingers and your voice. Again, instrument all the way.
It's funny. My voice, of course, I warm up carefully. I take about 30 minutes to warm up.
Nice.
And then one thing that I do, I use in-ears.
Yep.
And that's helped me a lot because I tend to over-sing. If I don't have in-ears, I want to sing to the place to where I can hear it through the speakers. Ooh. And that'll screw up your voice really bad.
Yeah, so it will.
That's why I do that. And then I was able to do 3 concerts. So a 3-hour, a 2-hour, a 3-hour in a row in a week, a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Wow. And I'm still able to sing on Sunday.
Now, I got to tell you, that's impressive. Any vocalist, guitarist that can get up there and do that night after night, kudos to you. And I know everybody says that about us drummers, like, oh my, how do you play for 2-3 hours? And it's like, well, that's different. Yeah. But I'm on board with you. I always do a lot of stretching and whatnot. And I tell everybody it's all about prep. If I get up there, my engine's cold, it's going to take me, 3-4 songs before I'm starting to get warmed up. I'd rather get up there and I'm already warm and hit it, because it's all cardio for me. So
Sure.
it's now, do you ever get to sit in with some original acts, or do you just stick with the covers?
Oh, no,
No.
it's all been just covers for me. And, I don't really get to sit in with anyone. I'm busy with my own things so much. Every once in a while, I run into a guy, John Christopher Davis, that's a Nashville guy, and he
Okay.
was sitting playing in front of a brewery, and he invited me to sit in with him, but it was all covers.
Yeah.
But I don't really get to do much of that. It was kind of fun.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, honestly, you still get to play some of the best venues here in Dallas, correct?
Oh, I tell you what, Michael has been so helpful in that. I got hired with 13th Floor, and so now, I mean, my venues have just changed so much from just a little bitty place to, like, I'm going to be singing at downtown Dallas. I did the Dallas Athletic Club.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I want to tell you, when I walked into there, I just looked at the place and went, okay, this is a little above my paycheck. They need a band, not me. I'm not going to be able to do this. But it's really funny. People, because my music's so diverse, and I do it, the music pretty close to how the artist does it, not with their voice. I just use my voice, but like, I'm not going to go out there and sing like Neil Young, or Willie Nelson. I just do their songs. But since it's so diverse, if they give me just a little while, somebody finds a song that they can kind of connect with. And so my system and everything that I've got, I just do one song at a time, and before long I've got a great audience.
You know what fascinates me the most, Tim, is the fact that, okay, acoustic artist, and I have not had very many. I think you may be the first full acoustic artist I've had on the show. The fact that it's just you and a guitar, and you're getting out there, and you still the expectations are no different than they are for full bands. It's you need
very
to
high.
Oh, absolutely. So, but you don't have a full group of guys that are there with you. It's just you, the guitar, and you still have to put on a show. You have to entertain. And when I say put on a show, I don't mean you're running around the stage, but you need to be entertaining enough, and the music's got to be good enough that people are engaged. Because let's be honest, and everyone knows that we love having musicians out. We love being out there, but it's always about the liquor sales. It is about how much is the bar making in liquor, because that's their whole purpose. We're just a distraction. And I learned that a long time ago. I wish it was about the music, but I mean, even when you go to some of the biggest venues, trust me, they want those liquor sales.
I'm not really doing any bars though.
Yeah, but if you're playing, like, you've done House of Blues, correct?
I did House of Blues.
Okay, and with that, you're playing I think you were in the restaurant, correct? Or were you in the foundation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're still selling. It's entertainment. People are sitting there. They're not sitting there like in rows. They're usually sitting there eating, drinking, socializing, and interacting. Correct.
Right.
Would you say that?
Somewhat. The great thing about that particular venue is that, and with my music, is they tend to sit there for over an hour to listen. Yeah. And so they're drinking and they're having dessert and stuff like that. So it pays off for the restaurant,
That's awesome. Again, hats off to you, because it is so difficult as just a lone artist to captivate people and hold them and give them a great performance. So hats off to you.
Thank you.
When you're studying, who do you kind of take your inspiration from?
Boy, very diverse again, Chris Martin, of course, Coldplay.
Yep.
Sting, because he's such a masterful songwriter. Michael McDonald. So you can see, I mean, I'm not just sticking with what James Taylor writes. Yeah. I want to get in there and I want to learn stuff from the guys that are masters at it, that just blow your mind with the stuff that they write,
Do you ever go and just watch and I'm assuming you do watch like on YouTube, their acoustic stuff, their solo stuff, just to see how do they present it?
Sure. Yeah. Cause you want to see, but it all comes down to the same thing. If I perform the song like I wrote it, I'm going to look like them when I perform it.
Yes, you are. Yes.
See?
Yeah. Yep. I had the pleasure of meeting Colin Hayes. He was the singer for Men at Work. I don't know if you remember them.
Yeah. Colin Hayes, you bet. Yeah.
And he is a phenomenal storyteller. Men at Work was one of my earliest influences when I started getting. Mom took me to that show, and I love the fact that when I met him, he was doing his solo stuff, but he's a phenomenal storyteller, and you don't realize how captivating again somebody can be with the kind of the path and the tale that they're weaving, and again was a huge impact. I actually had, and I think of this not in sort of a different context. I got to see Ray Manzarek from The Doors do some spoken word, and he actually did Riders on the Storm. This was in a small club in Seattle, and of course you do Riders on the Storm, and everybody's going to go berserk. But just listening to him tell stories and accompanied by music, oh my Lord, blew me away. And it was just him and a piano, and it was just incredible. Wow. So if you ever just get a hankering and you wanted just a little bit of entertainment, go look up some of that stuff. It is just, again, to me, it's fascinating because it's just one guy entertaining. So I'm telling you, it's definitely something. I'll send you some links, some things to check out.
Sounds good.
Tell me about COVID. How did you do with, I mean, we've all been on restriction coming up on 2 years.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was just kind of getting started, and before COVID, I had bought a guitar, and making payments on it. And I was doing okay, and then COVID hit. I had to take that guitar back to Guitar Center because I wasn't going to make any payments on a guitar I couldn't use.
Oh.
So that was dead. I was done. And I honestly didn't think I'd ever get back into it, to be honest. I'm 65, and it's like, well, I know, but you feel tired, and I've got a full-time job. I still do a full-time job. I'll probably be singing working for this company until I'm 70. Wow. And then, all the other things I do, it's like, and then it was Michael.
Michael. And for those of you that wonder who we're talking about, Michael Egdorf, who works, he works at one of the local big clubs. I don't know if we should say, I don't want to get him in trouble. So yeah, Michael would be like, yeah, you can say. But Michael has been, and again, he talked to me about you, and he was just raving, and I understand why. It's, again, for you to get out there, and 65. Let me tell you, I'm 52. I don't act a day over 12. And that's the goal here, is to still do this as long as we can. I mean, it's and COVID threw everybody some twists. I mean, obviously you still had a guitar, you still played, you didn't just not play at all. Did you find yourself you're really diving in and going, I'm going to learn this, or what did you do with your musical time during COVID?
Well, mostly I've just played at church,
okay, which is great,
doing that. But then I started really considering, if I got in this again, what I'd want to do is I wanted to do songs that people would never, ever, ever in their life believe an acoustic guy would do.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Never. They'd be like, I heard this guy on acoustic guitar do this song, and it just blew me away. I never thought that I would ever hear it.
Oh man, that is awesome. I'm thinking right now, there's a couple bands that I may need to connect you with. It just as far as you doing an acoustic opening set for them, and you know what I mean. I think it would be a great pairing. There's a rockabilly band that I'm thinking of in particular, Penny and the Flamethrowers, where I think that could be awesome. Just having you.
That'd be great.
I will definitely make some connections.
Okay.
Tell me about 22 before we wrap this up. Any big plans for 22? Or are you just going to be out there every weekend just going at it?
My goodness. Going to continue to expand. Something I didn't tell you is that I use acoustic guitar, and then I do some tracks. So I have 85 songs, and I have about 15 tracks.
Wow.
And what that does for the audience, it breaks it up for them so that they have a great experience and not just all acoustic, because acoustic can kind of have a hum after a while.
Yep.
If it's just acoustic and voice. So I do that. So for 2022, since I'm with 13th Floor now, I'm going to be probably doing 1 to 2 a week and then everything at church. And then I'm probably going to release another album this year. That's what I'm considering doing. Yeah.
When you go to release your album, will you come back on the show and we can promote it?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Tim, thank you for so much for coming and hanging out with me. I look forward to it. Maybe one of these days I can come out and I'd love to announce you for one of your shows. Just get up on stage and give you guys that'd be so much fun. And maybe you convince you to let me bring my cajon and sit in and kind of play along with you.
I would love that. That'd be so much fun. Oh, that'd be great.
I'm telling you, I'm a goober. I would love it just because it goes back to the old campfire. We used to always, even if it was just some shakers, we always and an acoustic guitar. We always had music around the campfire. So I love it. Yeah. Thank you so much for being my guest today.
My honor. I love this. This is so much fun.
I look forward to having you on again. For those of you that are new, thank you for tuning in. You can go to Facebook and obviously like us, invite your friends to like us. If you're in a band and you want me to promote it, send it to me. I'd love to announce it. If you're an artist and you want to get on and promote your wares, be it original, cover, tribute, hit me up. I love talking to people. As anyone will tell you, I never shut up. So it's come hang out with me, and your therapist will love you too. We're not just on Facebook though. You can find us on iHeart Radio. We're on Spotify, obviously Facebook, but we also have YouTube. We have Instagram and Twitter. We have a Roku channel. We also have an Amazon Fire channel. So we have plenty of places for you to come find us, see the show. You can also go to In the Pit with Ric, download our app and use it because you can not just watch our shows, but we have a calendar there. You can promote your band, or if you're just a fan of music, you can find live local music, which that's what we want. We want people to get off the couch and go support live local music. And you know what? If all you do is go out and see big bands, give Tim a shot. Go hang out with Tim for an evening and check out just an evening with Tim. You won't regret it. I promise. Tim, thank you again. I love it, my friend. And I will definitely be bugging you when you're ready to put out your album for the release. Hit me up. We'll get you back on the show.
Thanks, Rick. I really had a great time. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm Rick. This has been Tim, and we will see you somewhere in the pit.